Hey, FlowChat Connector, Sean here back at you with another high ticket tune-up. Today, we're going to talk about starting the perfect pitch. So if you've ever been in a place where you know you have to do a demo, but you don't know how to get started, I'm going to give you 3 easy and simple steps that you can take right now today. What's happening, FlowChat Connector? Sean back at you here with another high ticket tune-up. Hope you're doing great today. It is Tuesday. I love Tuesdays. Tuesdays are great days. Hope you're making it rain like a hurricane in your business. But make sure and smash that like button. Share this out to the algorithm so we can feed the algorithm gods and get this out to more people. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Today we're going to talk about something that I think is really valuable, that I think a lot of sales pros miss when they get started in doing a presentation. Annie asked this. She said, Sean, I spend a lot of time talking on my background. Any tips, right? So we're talking specifically about when you know you have to go in and give a presentation or pitch, whatever it is that you offer in the marketplace. How do you kind of shrink the time down to get to a place where you can just deliver what you got to deliver in a very, very short period of time? I'm going to give you 3 steps that are very, very simple. Let's dive right into it. So how do you start the perfect pitch? The intro to the pitch. Now, this is going to be the place where you're starting a conversation and then you need to transition right into the pitch. Okay. So starting with that said, now that you know kind of the context, let's kind of move forward. So what is it, right? What is starting the perfect pitch? Well, it's a transition from the introduction where you're simply bonding, connecting, rapporting, setting the rules of the call or the agenda of the event that you're going to be there. That's always the first step, right? So bonding and connecting. The first thing I suggest, talk at the same speed and then now set the rules of the conversation. Secondly, you need to now, after you get through the chit chat, gain the focus of the room. So how we're going to do that, I'm going to walk through 3 steps in a second. And the time that it should take from when you start that move to when you get going should be less than 2 minutes. Okay, so quick example here. So you remember when you've probably heard of the DNA strand, like the double helix concept. Well, this guy, Dr. Watson, back in 1955, presented this topic to the world, and him and his partner won all these Nobel Peace Prizes for it. And it took him less than 5 minutes to talk through the whole thing that he won a Nobel Prize for. Okay, so that should just tell us that we need to be very on point when we do this, and especially when you're transitioning from intro into pitch. How do you do it? Okay, moving forward, here's the rules. Number 1 is this, the background. What you need to do whenever the background conversation comes up, or if you're already in kind of past that part, it is important just to reference it. Why? Because it sets a framework to show you as a trusted advisor and expert. And so use whatever you have in your background that's brief, and the focus here is we want it to be relevant, right? Relevant to the situation of what you are pitching or offering into the marketplace. Number 2 is your track record, right? We're not going to go through and talk about every single thing that you've ever done because you've done a lot of cool stuff. No doubt, right? Everybody has, and they have a really long backstory that's great. What we want to do here is we want to make sure that we just touch on your track record, but stay focused on the success. And I put in parentheses, one is enough. What do I mean by that? Well, one good success placed correctly in a simple 2-minute or less pitch intro is going to get all the momentum going in the direction you need it to go. And then lastly is you introduce the big concept. So you're going to be introducing the big concept that you're sharing. So these are the only things we need to focus on when we're starting the perfect pitch, right? So it's a quick background. It's give a little bit of track record, talking about a success that's relevant to them, and then introducing the big concept that you're going to introduce. That will give you the directional guideline that you need to move forward. So what does this look like in an example? Okay, so here's the example. I studied this case story with this guy who was working a deal with Boeing, the airplane company manufacturer, and he was going in to pitch a humongous deal that was really relevant to sales world. Obviously, I study sales stuff. So this is how this one gentleman was able to lock a deal with Boeing, secure a bunch of funding, and actually deploy a sales system that he was teaching to Boeing, which was a cool case story to read about. And this is kind of how he did this when he went through just this one part. I just extrapolated this from the actual case story. So he said, hey guys, my degree is from Berkeley and I got my MBA at UCLA. This is relevant to Boeing and people that work at Boeing simply because they want to make sure that someone's educated. So he said, hey, my name's Jeff. My degree is from Berkeley and my MBA was at UCLA. And he said, after that, I was at this place called McKinsey. I was at McKinsey for 4 years, but really my only home run there was a sales program I built for Lexus. I saved them about 15 million and they still use it today, right? What did I do there? I just set up all the credibility that I needed to be able to deploy something into a business as big as Boeing. So this is a relevant example in which I'm able to deliver in one sentence and really kind of shift the tide to capture attention in the room, because people are going to say, whoa, you saved them about $15 million and they still use it today. Like, now I'm interested. I'm listening very loudly. And then we transition to introducing the big idea. So again, we get background, we do track record, which is relevant, one big win in your track record. And now our third thing is we're going to introduce the big concept, which says, I left consulting 6 months ago to work on the big idea we're going to talk about in the next few minutes. How simple is that? And within 3 bullet points on one slide, you can see how people at Boeing would have received this. If you were listening as a potential investor to buy something from this gentleman, would you be interested in learning more? If you're on the executive board at Boeing, yes, of course. He's educated. He's saved Lexus $15 million. I'm going to remember that. That's when I said there's one thing. Again, a lot of people, when they're talking about themselves, they talk about a really great example and then maybe not another not as great example, and then maybe not like even a bad example. People remember the average of what you tell them. So if I can deliver one point that's superior, you're going to win at the highest level. And that, my friends, is how you go starting the perfect pitch from intro to pitch. It's as simple as that. I hope this add value into your world. Don't forget, please smash that subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.